Good morning and welcome to the Special Magistrate hearing for May 10th, 2022. If you wish to speak at today's hearing, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to speak the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You may be seated and please silence all electronic devices. Our first cases are on pages 38 and 39. Inspector Gustavo Caracas. On page 38, case number CE 22020816. Case address 409 Northeast 3rd Street, owner Chip Holdings LLC. This case was first heard on April 12, 2021 to comply by May 10th, 2022. 3 sections not complied at $100 per day. Fines are due to start May 11, 2022, and this was in order to reappear. On page 39, we have case number CE 22020894, case address 405 Northeast 3rd Street, owner Chip Holdings LLC. This case was first heard on April 12, 2021 to comply by May 10, 2022. 3 sections not complied at $100 per day. Fines are due to start May 11, 2022, and this was in order to reappear.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas, case number CE 22020816, located at 49 Northeast 3rd Street. This case first came before Special Master on April 12 of 2022, where evidence was presented and magistrate found for the city. The representative of the owner for 409 and 405 is actually here presented with us, and she would like to speak.
Morning.
Good morning. I recall this case. This is the parking lot for the Top Hat.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. Tell me where we are. Order to reappear, hoping that something was going to happen between the city and the owner. And
We were waiting on surveys to be finalized so that our engineer, Stephen Botek, could create a site plan. He has created the site plan. We have hired Scott Lamont to create our landscape plan and and finalize our application for DRC. We suspect that we will be submitting application within the next 30 days, and we are asking for more time.
all right. On behalf of the city,
City does not oppose for both cases to have an extended time, sir.
all right. Well, let's do.
Your Honor, may I? Good morning.
Sure.
Portia Williams, Assistant Director for Development Services Department. Can we please request a 91-day extension?
Okay. All right. I'm going to grant a 91-day extension on both cases. Right?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Portia.
Our next case is on page 18. Inspector Darren Emmons. Case number CE 22010890. Case address 761 Southeast 17th Street. Owner 17th Street Plaza LLC. In care of SFLRE Group LLC. This case was cited on February 10, 2022 to comply by February 10, 2022. 1 section complied at $2,500 per day, and again, this is a citation appeal.
Okay, hang on.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Emmons, City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting for the case, and the property is read. Excuse me. This property was inspected by myself on 2/10/22, and a citation was issued for the following violation: 17-7.2.A. Animals. Unless unreasonably provoked, it shall be unlawful for any person to own, keep, or possess or maintain any domesticated animal which vocalizes, which will include howling, yelps, barks, squawks, or other noises in the vocalizing is plainly audible at or within the property line of the complainant, and the vocalizing is for more than 5 minutes without interruptions, defined as an average of 4 vocalizations per minute. On the day in question when the citation was issued, I returned to this property per my supervisor, his request, and parked in the guest parking space at 801 Southeast 16 Court, which is a residential property behind Barker's Pet Center. I began monitoring for barking dogs at Barker's Pet Center at 8:54 a.m., and then at 9:15 a.m., several dogs started barking continuously, more than 4 barks per minute. I was sitting in my work vehicle with the window down. It was a sunny day with only light vehicular traffic noise in the area. I could hear the dogs bark continuously. At 9:28 a.m., I began recording the dogs barking with my work-issued iPhone. I stopped recording at 9:36 a.m. During that time frame, several dogs barked continuously for more than 4 barks per minute, almost nonstop for the whole duration. I heard the dogs barking in this fashion from 9:15 a.m. until 10:15 a.m. This inspector, I counted approximately 451 continuous barks during the 7 minutes and 32 seconds that I recorded with my iPhone, which averages out to be approximately 64 barks per minute. This is a repeat violation. On 01/18 of 22, this business was cited for the same violation under case number CE 22010410. There have been numerous barking dog complaints associated with this business. The city is requesting the full imposition of fines. I would like to submit my case file and photos to the court.
All right, good morning, Counselor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Courtney Crush on behalf of the Barker's Pet Resort. I several objections to the citation and the law being applied to the Barker's Pet Resort. I actually represented the Barkers in 2010. Your Honor, the Barkers has a approved DRC site plan compliant with the ULDR and the ULDR provisions for pet boarding facilities and their outdoor play area. There was a case brought in 2010, CE 1009-0264, same violation, barking dogs, different code in effect at the time. It may have been in front of Your Honor. I've actually requested the city's file, and that case was dismissed. Subsequent to 2010, the city amended its noise ordinance in 2017 and put in the language that you heard Inspector Emmon read to you about the barking more than 4 times per minute for a 5-minute period. I did watch your video for the 6 minutes, but first and foremost, with a valid site plan compliant with the noise ordinance in effect at the time, which interestingly applied to public and private facilities expressly. That language was removed in 2017. It seems as inappropriate to be applying new code to a legal business. And before I go down, would you like me to continue as to the other points of the citation? But I did want to bring that to the court's attention.
All right. Yes, something, Ms. Montoya, did you have any comments on the issue?
Thank you, Your Honor. Not right now. I'd like to, if you don't
Okay.
mind, I'd rather hear
All right.
the rest of Ms. Crush's
Something
argument.
further on behalf of the city?
Yeah, so the only thing I would say is that code talks about it being excessive. So although you do have a site plan for a Barker's Pet Resort for a pet kennel, at the same time, you have to be in compliance with the noise ordinance. So we deemed it excessive according to that code. as far as disturbing the peace and being excessive with the amount of barks per minute.
Not with respect to volume, which I would think that excessive, and there are code sections under which one could be cited, and having listened to the tape where I could also hear birds chirping, I don't think that's the fact pattern we have here. I'm not arguing with you that one could not be cited under that. I also want to note that looking at the code cases starting in September 2021, it seems as if the city has been out there for hours, if not hundreds of hours, and the property has been not cited. There are cases opened, and I went through each and every one of them with no violation found. So again, I'm not arguing with you about excessive. However, in 2010, it was deemed not to be excessive or a nuisance, and the property has continued to operate compliant with the law in effect at the time.
The only thing I would say is, yes, we do have quite a few inspections in the area. As you can imagine, when the dogs are barking, it's very hard to gauge the time that it becomes excessive. So we've had inspections to where we didn't hear anything, but we also had inspections to where it was quite excessive. And we had to actually schedule some inspections. I would say over the last month, the property has made it a remarkable change, but prior to that, it has been excessive, and we've documented those cases.
Without a finding of excessiveness, sir, and let me, certainly. I will say that the owner of this establishment, where I used to take my dogs, who are now 14 and don't play very well, this seems to occur when the dogs are let in and out. Again, an approved use in a commercial business center. The dogs are going to go in and out. That seems to be the activity that's drawing the attention. I also wanted to...
And that license that you're talking about is issued by the state?
The license is issued by the City of Fort Lauderdale Development Review Committee. The site plan was processed, as you were talking about with the Top Hat Deli, same process goes into the planning department, who reviews 4718 is the outdoor area for pet boarding. That was approved prior to 2010, requires soundproofing, drainage, a 6-foot wall, landscaping, etc. So that is, and I've also requested that file. I did not still have it back from 2010.
All right. Anything else from the city?
So,
All
The
right.
thing I would say is that the expectation is that although you're allowed to do business, the expectation is that you're not a nuisance to the business, is not a nuisance to the community. We have, for example, nightclubs to where you're allowed to play music, and you're allowed to play music at different hours of the night. At the same time, we have a noise ordinance that ensures that these business owners comply with our noise ordinance.
100%.
In this instance, we don't believe that you're in compliance with the noise ordinance.
And I would be happy to make sure that we are. And if we're going to be a visit with decibels as the dogs are going in and out, happy to do that. I also do want to point out in 2017, Your Honor, when the code was amended to include this 5-minute frequency, the prior language in 2010 up to 2017, the code expressly applied to public facilities, private facilities, including the county animal control. When in 2017, the current code, that language was struck, and it now says person. I reviewed a portion of the legislative history, and Mayor Noggle had concerns about, a person. So this, in my opinion, and I will continue to do the research, does not seem to be intended to apply to commercial establishments, because that was an express decision. With respect to the citation itself, if you'd like me to go on, Your Honor, I don't see a complainant listed. There are a complainant referenced in the inspection notes. However, Inspector Emmons is listed as the complainant with the address of 801 Southeast 16th Street, which I'm assuming is not his address. As you know, Florida statute no longer allows anonymous complaints. So it seems as if the citation should be dismissed by the city.
Okay, Well,
I-
we've got a series of ordinances here and amendments, and I haven't seen those. And what I would like for you to do, Ms. Crush,
Yes, sir.
is within, one week from today,
Yes,
supply me copies of those ordinances in like a one-page cover letter
certainly.
with a summary of your argument and
Yeah, the
copy
complaint
Ms.
is,
Montoya.
Certainly, and I apologize, Your Honor, Ms. Now Marcani reached out to me the day before yesterday, so I will do that efficiently.
All right, good.
Your Honor, if
Yeah.
we,
just,
Supervisor White can just make a statement regarding the complainant for the case.
Yes.
so the complainant's name is Brian Shishel, but we don't put the complainant's information on the citation. We're not required to do that.
It would be appropriate, I believe, because the noise, the plainly audible standard, which is what you're applying in the current code, requires that one stand on the complainant's property line. And in doing a brief research, there are 14 condominium units here, two-story townhouse looking. Since the inspection notes indicate that the inspector was in a guest spot, the inspector was not, and it does not seem as if any measurements are being taken from the complainant's property.
Took it from right in front of the complaint. There's actually a gated off area. So that, the barking can be heard, within that establishment.
It cannot be heard, well, we don't know because it has not been measured from a complainant's condominium.
We didn't measure it inside. I don't think the code.
I don't know that you have to be inside. I believe they have ground level doors in looking at the condominium declaration. Obviously, it runs east to west. You're on the easternmost point closest to the commercial establishment, and again, with a plainly audible standard. I don't know if someone is over on the west, it's a horseshoe-shaped building. If you're over on the west, you're 60 further feet away.
I believe in this case, the complainant actually was facing the parking space, so his unit is actually facing out towards Barker's Pet Resorts. We also had another complainant that had a similar situation where their unit was actually facing out toward Barker's Pet Resort. They also complained about it, them not enjoying their outdoors, their space, their yard area. So that's right next to the parking space.
And if the condominium association were the complainant, we can have that discussion. During the week that I anticipate Your Honor is going to give me, I will get with the city. But I do think there are, and I would also like to speak with the city about the $2,500 fine. As I track through the code, I don't see, even for a repeat violation in the city's chart, listing citation penalties. I see a $300 and something amount, not $2,500. So if I could use the time that, again, I anticipate Your Honor may give me to submit a one-pager, I can also discuss those points with the city.
Okay. Ms. Crush, here's my email address. All right. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, if I could get on record just stipulating where exactly I was located during the recording. For that residential area, it's gated, whereas I'm not able to go inside the property through the gate. So that's why I was parked in the guest parking spot out in front, just in front of the building where the complainant resides.
And again, the code has requirements that ask that you be at a complainant's property line, which is, again, important for us to know. And important, I think, to be included in the case history.
All right. Thank you very much.
I want to say for the record, it's Supervisor White.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will get that, Your Honor.
In a week?
Certainly. I didn't know if I was also to reappear or just wait to hear
I
from...
don't know myself.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I want to review your argument. And we'll
Starting the day with barking dogs.
We'll provide everybody due process.
Appreciate it.
Our next case is on page 24. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 21050582. Case address 3016 Bayshore Drive. Owner Bayshore Hotel LLC. This case was first heard on 1/27/22 to comply by 3/24/22. Suspended 3/24/22 to 4/3/2022. Two sections not complied at $50 per day. $3,700 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
Good morning. Senior Inspector Cologne for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number is CE 21050582. The case address is 3016 Bayshore Drive. This property was first inspected on May 27th, 2021, and was heard by the Special Magistrate on January 27th, 2022, where Special Magistrate Flynn ordered 56 days to comply or $50 per day for all violations thereafter. And it was heard again on March 24th, 2022, and given a 10-day extension. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on May 9th, 2022, and it shows that the violations remain as depicted in the photos and presented for the record. And the city requests a full imposition of fines, which continues to accrue.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning again.
Courtney Crush on behalf of the property owner. Your Honor, when this came before Judge Flynn, I believe the only outstanding item was the condition of a second stack of parking, which is in city right-of-way. The picture that's on the screen right now, actually, you can see there's 2 rows of parking spaces. This seems to be my day for uncertainty. No one knows how those parking spaces got there. They are not my clients. They appear to be in a city travel lane. At that hearing, the city took the position that that second row was swale, which is not consistent with the city's definition of swale, which, as we all can picture, is a grassy area, and asked my client to stripe them. My client, this is right south of the W Hotel. My client doesn't particularly want those parking spaces there because the Uber drivers who are servicing the hotel park there and block his guests in. However, he did go out, and I sent pictures to the inspector. Confusingly, over the last 40 years, the city has historically maintained this area. The city indicated at the hearing in front of Magistrate Flynn that my client should do it. So in order to try to comply, he went out and seal-coated and striped. At the same time he was having his people do that, some city employees were out there also filling potholes. So there seems to be some confusion. Your Honor, if I could have a week to repair the additional, I think the portion that is not repaired is because there were city workers out there at the same time my client was striping. Again, this is not his property. He's trying to make this code case compliant, and I would very much like to appear before you when it is in compliance. These are 3 existing small hotels, and there's an approved site plan on the property, which will be going in for building permit. As part of that site plan, this entire area gets rebuilt, redeveloped, and landscaped by the developer. So this is a short-term issue.
Your Honor, if I may. So at the last hearing, it was discussed that they felt that that was part of the city's responsibility, and that's why Ms. Crush had asked for the 10-day extension to follow up with the city. And then I have an email where she said that it was shown that the city is not responsible for it, and that the property owners are the responsible party. So in the past, the city may have repaired here and there when they redo the roads, but that was just as a courtesy. There's nothing on record that says that the city is responsible or any kind of contract between the city and the owner of the hotel or condo. And yes, there is a site plan that has been approved, but again, we don't know when this will happen. This could be, a year, 2 years, who knows? So in the meantime, these potholes are,
Okay, hold the picture right there, please. This is the area that we're concerned about. This is the area, and it's depicted on the photograph
Yes,
there.
yes.
That's part of the
Whether it's
area.
the owner's responsibility or the city's responsibility, okay?
Correct.
But it's been ruled by Magistrate Flynn that it's the owner's responsibility. Is that correct?
I don't know that that was discussed. I indicated we would do it regardless. Regardless of who owns it and whether it's swale, my client will complete the patching of that area. He did a portion, as you can see right here, and I had sent those pictures. And I don't think anybody knows how the parking spaces got there. I mean, we've looked back 50 years, so I did email the inspector and say, I found nothing in the city's records. Public Works looked, but my client will fix it.
Okay, and, okay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So this was for the parking, but this also includes all of the parking, because on the other side of the building, there's some holes as well.
At a different address?
No, same address around the corner, and then also it includes the exterior of the building. That was on the final order.
All right, and what's the status with the exterior?
I don't have it in front of me, Your Honor. My understanding was that that had been complied in late 2021 by an inspection note, but I don't have it in front of me. There was a fence, and then there was a comment about the building, and I think it was before the last hearing I had sent you photographs.
Okay, so your client is in the process of making the repairs, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
He thought he had completed the repairs. It seems as if the inspector is indicating there were 3 addresses on this property, and if it's all 3 properties and he did not extend the repairs, he will make the repairs immediately.
And the timetable on that is what?
A week? It's just seal coating and painting, I think.
Okay.
A week or 10 days would be sufficient.
All right. Okay, here's what I'm inclined to do. I'm going to go ahead and grant a 14-day extension and stay the fines as of this date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 31. Inspector Gustavo Caracas. Case number CE 211-20018. Case address 404 Northwest 1st Avenue, PKG. Owner 404 NW1 LLC. This case was first heard on 2/24/22 to comply by 3/31/22. 2 sections complied at $100 per day. $5,200 accrued. And the city is requesting administrative costs of $626.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Inspector
morning.
Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 21120018, located at 404 Northwest 1st Avenue. This case first came before Special Master on February 24th of 2022, where evidence was presented and magistrate filed for the city. These violations were first cited on December 1st of 2021, and a total of 10 re-inspections have been done to the property. I'm happy to say that the property is in compliance, and we're only seeking $626 for administrative costs.
All right, ma'am, if you'll state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Lauren Leffner, law clerk with Crush Law, here on behalf of the property owner. We would absolutely appreciate the reduced fine amount as
All right,
the
very
inspector
good.
stated.
I'm going to impose administrative costs, $626.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 5. Inspector Gustavo Caracas. Case number CE 21010366. Case address 1450 West Broward Boulevard. Owner SSZ Inc. This property received personal service on April 20th, 2022, and posted at City Hall on April 26, 2022.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance Inspector, presenting case number CE 21010366 for the property located at 1450 West Broward Boulevard. Inspection of the property was performed on January 1st of 2021 and cited for the following violations. 9-305B, the landscaping of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead or missing ground cover. 47-20.20.h. The parking facilities at this property are not being maintained. Resurfacing and restriping is required. 18-12A. There's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and on its swale. Courtesy notice was issued, hand-delivered to the property manager at time, and also sent to property owner as listed on BCPA first-class mail on January 1st of 2021, allowing 10 to 30 days to come into compliance. Until recently, Your Honor, contact has been made with the representative and owners. Special magistrate request form sent on March 2nd, 2021, and scheduled for today's special master as well. Pre-hearing inspection was done on April 20th, 2022, and the pictures presented here were taken to confirm the violations still exist. The city's requesting the following: 35 days to come into compliance, or a daily fine of $50 for each of the violations that exist. The owner is present with us today, sir.
All right. Okay, on behalf of the owner, good morning.
Yes, John Militana on behalf of the owner. We just became, or at least I just became aware of this violation within the last month, and this notice of hearing. The owner landlord is domiciled in the state of Texas. It's leased to, the tenant is a Dunkin' Donuts store. The lease was recently assigned to a new owner whose representative is here, who is taking care of the maintenance. From the owner's standpoint, and thought that this was in the process of being taken care of.
All right.
I'll yield to
All right.
Mr. Weir to explain what was done.
For the record, I'm going to find the violations exist. 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 23. Inspector Bernstein Sambert. Case number CE 21040435. Case address 1031 Northwest 48th Street. Owner Diana Rodriguez Cardona. This case was first heard on 1/11/22 to comply by 2/22/22. Suspended 3/8/22 to 4/5/22. Two sections complied at $50 per day. $1,400 accrued, and the city's requesting no fines.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Bernstein Sambert, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 21040435, property address 1031 Northwest 48th Street. This property was first heard on January 11, 2022. 9-305B, landscape not being maintained. 9-304B, the paved driveway is not being maintained. Due to noncompliance on February 24, 2022, the fine started to accrue. Property owner appeared at the special magistrate on 3/8/2022 to request an extension due to permitting taking longer than expected. Extension was granted for 28 days. Property came into compliance on 3/24/22. Permit number BLD-RPAV-211-20053 was submitted with a status of complete. The city is requesting no fines due to permitting taking longer than expected.
All right, ma'am, if you'll adjust the microphone and speak right into it and state your name, please.
Good morning. My name is Diana Rodriguez.
Okay, no fines will be imposed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our next case is on page 8. Inspector Darren Emmons. Case number CE 22010301. Case address 1384 Southwest 22nd Avenue. Owner Sal Vandenberg. Property posted 4/24/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Emmons for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Presenting case number CE 2201-0301 for the property address 1384 Southwest 22nd Avenue. This property was inspected by myself on 1/13/22, and the following violations were observed. 9-280G, there are electrical wires and accessories not maintained in a good, safe working condition, including but not limited to wires exposed on the outside non-covered electrical meter box. 9-280B, there are building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained. The front porch wood beams are rotting from moisture or termites. The ceiling is bulging and turning yellow from the moisture caused by the leaking roof. There are windows that will not lock and or needing screens. The rear sliding glass door is very hard to open. 9-308A, the roof is not in good repair and is not weather or watertight. This property was posted on 4/20/22 by myself. A pre-hearing inspection was done by myself on 5/2/2022, and the violations remain. The city is requesting 63 days to comply or a fine of $25 per day per violation thereafter.
Okay.
I would like to submit my case file and photos to the court. I have been in communication with the property owner, and they're clear on the extension we're looking at.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record, please. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Michael Madfus. I'm the architect for the owner.
Anything you'd like to add, sir?
No, we're okay with everything. Just a couple of things. The citation referenced a meter box being in disrepair, and that's not the case. Matter of fact, I couldn't find really any electrical disrepair except perhaps one junction box, which has been fixed. A number of the items on the list have been fixed. Perhaps the inspector couldn't get into the building, but the ceiling that had the stain and the leak from the roof have been repaired. And the owner's, proceeding. So the 63 days will be perfect. Thank you.
All right. Okay, for the record, I found the violations do exist. 63 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter on each. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 29. Inspector Darren Emmons, case number CE 211-00895. Case address 2617 Southwest 7th Street. Owner Jerry Bartlett. This case was first heard on 1/11/22 to comply by 2/15/22, suspended 3/8/22 to 4/5/22. 3 sections complied at $50 per day, $3,050 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
Okay, we're on page 29, okay.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Darren Emmons for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Presenting case number is read and for the address is read. This case first came before the Special Magistrate on 1/11/22, where evidence was presented and Special Magistrate Purdy found in favor for the city. As of my pre-hearing inspection on 5/1/22, the following violations are in compliance. 18-1, 47-34.1.A.1, 9-304B, and 9-305B. The violations were first cited on October 27th, 21, and a total of 14 inspections were made on the property. It is the position of the city that fines be imposed to the amount of $1,000. The hearing notice was posted at the property on April 18th, 2022.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Yes, good morning. My name's Elliot Bartlett.
All right, what would you like to add, sir?
Yes, so Officer Wilson Quintero was the first officer that we had last year. And from the moment that we had these fines or these citations, I was in touch with him. I reached out to him and I said, hey, I want to take care of these. As time passed, a lot of these violations were broken down cars on the property, and I was having trouble with our tenants removing those cars. We had tow trucks come out, tow trucks got stuck trying to tow the 18-wheeler that was in the backyard. I asked for extensions, which each time extensions were granted. Then in February, my wife got in a car accident, totaled the car with our kids in the car. That kind of threw me off time-wise. I didn't get around to asking for another extension on the property. And then all these fines started accruing. And so I would ask for the fines to be dropped. As I was in touch with the officer, we were making the necessary changes to the property. I did have that incident where I wasn't able to make the request for an extension. The fines came in, but I was in communication with the city since this came out, and we got everything taken care of. And we've poured a lot of money into getting the properties up to where they need to be, upwards to $15,000. That there's 3 properties back to back.
Yeah, I noticed you, on page 28, you have 2 other cases. Same street, different street addresses. All right. Okay, let's call those cases and I'll issue a global ruling.
On page 28, case number CE 211-00886, case address 2649 Southwest 7th Street, owner Jerry Bartlett. This case was first heard on 1/11/22 to comply by 2/15/22, suspended 3/8/22 to 4/5/22. 3 sections complied at $50 per day. $3,150 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount. Case number CE 211-00894, case address 2633 Southwest 7th Street, owner Jerry Bartlett. This case was first heard on 1/11/22 to comply by 2/15/22, suspended 3/8/22 to 4/5/22. 1 section complied at $50 per day. $1,250 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
Yes, Your Honor, for these cases, for the address 2649 Southwest 7th Street, the case first came before the special magistrate on 1/11/22, where evidence was presented, and Special Magistrate Purdy found in favor of the city, for the city. During my pre-hearing inspection on 5/6/22, the following violations were in compliance: 9-306, 47-34.4.B.1, 18-4, 9-304B, and 9-305B. The violations were first cited on October 27, 21, and a total of 13 inspections were made on the property. It is position of the city that fines be imposed to the amount of $1,000 for this property in this case. The hearing notice was posted at the property on April 18, 2022. I would like to introduce this case and the file and photos for this case and the previous case to this as evidence.
All right, sir. As to these cases, what would you like to add?
I am grateful for the city's.
They were all heard at the same time. All had the same compliance date, but go ahead.
Yes, I am grateful for the city's patience and willingness to extend each time I made the request. And I was hoping that I can have all of these charges dropped, as we had to go through the process of evicting some of these tenants. They were far behind, and it's just been a difficult process, keeping everything up to date, having them comply with, hey, look, there's cars on the property, we need you to remove it. But everything that was asked, again, I was in touch with Officer Quintero, trying to make it happen, bringing it up to standard. I was the one that went out there, rented a tiller. That land hadn't been, the swale hadn't been taken care of in a long time. Had to run a mini excavator to get that hard ground broken up, to get the soil down or the sod down. So I am proud of it now, looking at those pictures from what it was to what it is now. So I do appreciate the city, making it look, or having these standards for making it look the way it should look. I am throwing myself at your mercy for the financial cost of it to be dropped.
Right.
Your Honor, just for the record, I just want to make sure you're clear. For each property, for each case, there's 3 cases. The city's requesting $1,000 each for each.
I'm sorry, say again.
The city's requesting $1,000 for each case and each property for a total of $3,000.
Okay. All right. I'm inclined to do that. Okay. It'll be $1,000 per case. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 18. Senior Inspector Patrice Jolly. Case number CE 22030979. Case address 1406 Northeast 15th Avenue, numbers 1 through 4. Owner Schreiber Holdings, LLC. This property was cited on 3/28/22 to comply by 4/12/22. One section not complied at $200 per day, $5,600 accrued. This is a citation appeal. If the city is to prevail, the city is requesting full amount be imposed and fines continue to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Senior Inspector Patrice Jolly, presenting for the city, case CE 2203-0979 for the property located at 1406 Northeast 15th Avenue. This property was first cited on March 28, 2022, and given 15 days to correct the following violation. 15-272.8. This property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. An appeal request was filed and submitted on March 28, 2022. Re-inspections were conducted on April 13th, 2022 and May 9th, 2022, which revealed that the active listing remains as depicted in the photos. It is the city's request that the fines continue to accrue until the violation is brought into compliance.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state
Yes,
your name.
definitely. As we have the violation, we apply to the city for all the license, and the city don't want to keep the process because we have open permit. So until we don't close the permit, so they don't gonna keep the process. So this is what it's hold the permit for the window, hold all the process for the application. Something that it doesn't make sense even, to put both of them together,
Excuse me,
The city don't want to keep the application, the process for the application because open permit. Until you don't close the permit, the city don't gonna complete the application.
Your Honor, I'd like to say that he is correct. You cannot go through the application process with open cases, permit cases, and other things. But on the citation itself, it states that to be in compliance, you have to remove or deactivate the listing and cease all vacation rental activity. That never happened. So the property continues to advertise to this day, so it is still in violation.
Okay. All right, I'm going to grant the city's request that the fines be imposed and continue to accrue. Thank you. You'll get a written order in the mail, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 21. Senior Inspector Leonard Champagne, case number CE 22030532, case address 1510 Northeast 57th Court, owner Vertona LLC. This case was cited on 3/16/22 to comply by 3/31/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $6,000 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount. No appeal was received for the citation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Leonard Champagne for the city for case CE 22030532, 1510 Northeast 17th Court. This was first cited on 3/16/2022 to comply by 3/31/2022. It complied on 5/1/2022, which was 30 days for $200 a day. At $200 a day, the city is requesting the full amount to be imposed.
Okay, this was a citation, no appeal filed.
No appeal, yes, and it's complied now. So we're asking for the full amount to be imposed.
All right. All right, sir, if you'll speak right to the microphone. And
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Jason Clark on behalf of the owner.
All right.
That is correct. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
May I speak? Or
Yes.
I apologize. That is correct, sir. There was not an appeal initially filed. It was an oversight on my part. No excuse. At the time that this was issued, I was dealing with my ill mother, I'm sorry, in California. When I got back, it was addressed, I like to believe, in a timely fashion. Applications were already in. The property was issued, well, it is licensed. An issue was an oversight on my part. Again, no excuse. I was dealing with a health matter with my mother in California. It's a fantastic property. Everything is in compliance, and I would ask that the fine be reduced, please. No excuse, but I was dealing with a family matter.
All right, sir. Under the law, I am required to impose the fine. However, there is a process that you can utilize to apply to reduce the fine, okay? There should be someone here who will speak to you if you're interested in following that process. But for today, I have no option under the law but to impose the fine of $6,000. You understand what I'm saying about there's a separate process?
I do. May I ask one question? If I do that, and please, the first time I've unfortunately gone through this matter, won't go through it again. Now that everything is in compliance, could the property be rented during the interim while I deal with the lien or?
No, until.
Yes,
until the-
yes, it can.
Once the fine is
can?
paid, you'll then get your
Lenny?
certificate.
It's in compliance.
And
It can
ma'am-
be, it can be rented.
Compliance now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, well, the fine would have to be paid.
Well, going through the lien reduction process,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Katrina Jordan for the City of Fort Lauderdale Administrative Supervisor. While going through the process, it's probably going to be about 45 or so days before you get before the magistrate again.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, you can rent the property at the time because we have inspected it, you have passed, and you are addressing the fine.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So, sorry for the question again. I'll follow protocol. There's no money is being paid today. I will go for the lien reduction.
Yes.
Okay. But the property could be
Yes,
rented
sir.
during the interim.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Unfortunately, there's a second property as well that I'm here for today under the same, they were both issued at the same time. So I would like, I don't know if that can be heard now.
Is that 5251?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so on page 21, case number CE 22030546, case address 5251 Northeast 26th Avenue, owners Kathleen Kennedy and Donald Weber. This case was cited on 3/16/22 to comply by 4/1/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $6,600 accrued. The city is requesting full amount, and no appeal was received for the citation.
Leonard Champagne for the city again for CE 22030546, 5251 Northeast 26th Avenue. This property was cited on 3/16/2022 to come into compliance on 4/1/2022. One section, it's now was complied as of 5/5/22. The city is $200 a day for $6,600. The city is requesting the full amount be imposed.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record,
Sure.
please.
My name is Jason Clark on behalf of the owner.
All right.
And unfortunately, same situation. The property was cited on the same day as the previous property we just discussed.
All right, so.
Unfortunately, no excuse. The property is in compliance. It was licensed. It is licensed, rather, my apologies. Again, dealing with a family.
Okay. Well, you understand the process
I know.
now. I'm required
Yes, sir.
to impose the fine and advise you that you are entitled to pursue a lien reduction. Thank you, sir.
And again, it can be rented during the interim until that's.
Yes, the only thing that I will admonish you, if you look at the listing, it says 12 guests for 5 bedrooms. It's only 2 people per bedroom.
That's
So
so
make
reduced
sure
to 10.
So make sure you fix that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 37. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 20091288. Case address 1812 Northeast 23rd Avenue. Owner Augustus DeLong Jr. This case was first heard on 11/9/21 to comply by 2/8/22, suspended 2/8/22 to 5/10/22. One section not complied at $50 per day. Fines are due to start May 11, 2022, and this was in order to reappear.
Good morning again, Senior Inspector Cloyne for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number is CE 2009-1288. Case address 1812 Northeast 23rd Avenue. This property was first inspected on October 1st, 2020 by Inspector Malakias and brought before the magistrate on November 9th, 2021, and the magistrate found for the city to comply by February 8th, 2022. At the February 8th hearing, an extension was given for 91 days, and a pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 28th, 2022, and the violation remains as depicted on the pictures, which I would like entered for the record. And the contractor is here to speak.
All
Good
right,
morning,
ma'am.
Your Honor.
Okay, state your name for the record, please.
Maria Castro.
All right, I recall this case. Tell me bring me up to date.
Okay, the last time when I was here, we requested an extension and it was granted for 91 days. That's correct. And that time we engaged in another contractor to help us to continue with the project because our equipment is not able to do it. So they start and actually is in process, but right now it doesn't depend on us because this is another contractor who actually is doing the work for us. The seawall is already being built. It's 20 more feet. They have to put these panels for us to continue that process. Like it would take like another month. But right now we are at the mercy of this contractor because they had some issues with their equipment. So they've been basically gone for the last probably two and a half weeks, waiting for them to come back to finish for us to be able to complete the project.
Okay. All right, on behalf of the city, anything further?
No, nothing further.
We are just requesting more time to finish and by hopefully.
Okay, well, you were previously given an extension. How much time are you requesting now?
Well, if I can get 90 days, that would be great. But if it's not 60, I would take 60.
Do you occupy this house, or is it a development, or tell me?
No, I represent the owner and the contractor. So no, yes, we are the contract. I represent the contractor.
All right.
Doing the seawall.
Okay.
Yeah, the owners are actually under, contract with her. She's representing the company that's doing the work.
Okay. All right, ma'am, I'm gonna grant a 91-day extension, but I want this all taken care of within that time frame.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
ma'am.
may we
There's
also
another
request
case.
another mandatory reappearance?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
There's another case on page 38 for the same property. Case number CE 201-00030, case address 1812 Northeast 23rd Avenue, owner Augustus DeLong. This case was first heard on 11/9/21 to comply by 2/8/22, suspended 2/8/22 to 5/10/22. One section not complied to $50 per day. Fines are due to start May 11, 2022.
Your Honor, this is case number CE 201-00030, the same property. So I would accept the same finding as you just ruled on.
I'm inclined to do that. It is grant a 91-day extension and a mandatory reappearance on August 9th, 2022.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 5, Inspector Bernstein Sambird. Case number CE 211-00166, case address 1614 Northwest 8th Avenue, numbers 1 and 2, owner Damian Williams. Property posted 4/19/22, posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Bernstein Sambird, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement. Case number CE 211-00166. Property address 1614 Northwest 8th Ave. This property was inspected and cited by Inspector Oaks on October 6, 2021 for the following violations. 18-12A complied. 9-308B complied. 9-305B, the driveway parking area is not being maintained. It is faded and in need of being resurfaced and restriped. The wheel stops must also be repaired and painted. 9-280H1, the chain link fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. The metal frame is not attached and the gate is broken. Due to noncompliance on April 19, 2022, notice of hearing was posted on the property. A pre-hearing inspection revealed the violation stated is not in compliance. I would like to enter the photos as evidence that shows violations as depicted. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $100, a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter.
Okay, I'm sorry. How many days to comply?
28 days.
Okay, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning, Damian Williams.
All right, anything you'd like to add, sir?
I'm currently working on the interior of the property. I'm going to start working on the exterior this week. The two tenants recently moved out, so just doing a complete renovation.
All right, so we have two remaining violations. I find that they each exist, 28 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Our next case is on page 24. Inspector Christina Caserta. Case number CE22030042, case address 6841 Northwest 30th Avenue, number 5A, owner Puerto ER16 LLC. This case was cited on 3/3/22 to comply by 3/18/22. One section not complied at $250 per day, $13,250 accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue and no appeal was received for the citation.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Christina Caserta on behalf of the city of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number 22030042 for the property located at 6841 Northwest 30th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. This property was cited for violating section 9-363, failure to register property as a rental. A civil citation violation notice was posted at the property, giving the owner 15 days to abate the violation, or a fine of $250 per day will be imposed. When I posted the notice to appear on April 21st, I spoke with Herbert, who is a tenant. He advised he will provide the notice to appear to the owner. The property to date has not come into compliance. All notices have been mailed to the owner of record to the mailing address reflected on BCPA. It is the position of the city that the fines be imposed as read. I would like to introduce the case file and photos into evidence.
Okay, this is a citation with no appeal taken, correct?
Citation, yes, sir.
All right. Okay, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Sander Puerto. I'm one of the two owners of the property. The other owner is my brother, Heber Puerto, who the lady just mentioned his name. So he's the owner of the property. The property has never been a rental. We have an association which has very strict rules to being able to rent properties. We attempted to do that when we first bought the property in 2016, but because of their strict rules, we never rented it. So it's not a rental, it's owner occupied.
All right, well, that's already been determined. When you had an opportunity to appeal, but you didn't appeal, which means that the violation is admitted.
So, sir, I went to their website and it says, notes, this registry is not for vacation rentals or owner occupied residential dwelling units. This is what's stated on their website.
Sir, what the magistrate is saying is that on the citation in large, bold, all capital letters is you have to appeal the citation within the time frame unspecified, or by the city ordinance, it is deemed a violation. It's like if you don't contest a traffic ticket, it's deemed admitted. It's the same thing. So the magistrate has no discretion but to find that there is a violation.
So how can I fight that?
All right, sir.
That I'm unable to give you legal advice, so you need to.
I never had this issue before, so when I saw it, I'm like, I'm not a landlord. I went to the website, I saw this, and by the way, by the time I received the letter, the 15 days have expired, so I was gonna wait for them to contact us again, and then I got these other letters saying that I have to show up here today. So, you know.
Your Honor, may we recall this case, please?
I'm sorry?
May we recall this case, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Give us a few minutes and we'll recall the case.
Thank you. And just wanted to say additional
Yeah,
to this.
we're going to recall the case in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Our next case is on page 36. Inspector Patrice Jolly, case number CE 22030983, case address 1308 Northeast 16th Terrace, owner DRB Holdings FL LLC. This case was cited on 3/28/22 to comply by 4/12/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $5,200 accrued. The city is requesting full amount, and no appeal was received for the citation.
I'm sorry. Lowen, which case do we have there? I'm sorry.
This one up here.
The top. Oh, okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Senior Inspector Patrice Jolly for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 22030983 for the property located at 1308 Northeast 16th Terrace. This property was cited on March 28, 2022, and given 15 days to correct the following violation. 15-272.A. This property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. This violation is complied as of a pre-hearing inspection done on May 9th, 2022. No appeal was filed. The city is requesting that fines be imposed as read.
All right. Again, we have a citation that was issued and no appeal taken. All right. Sir, if you'll speak right to the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Dwayne Barrett. I'm here on behalf of DRB and Olin. This property, we received a notification on the property on March 28th. I have all the documents, and immediately we applied for all the license for the property to make sure it's in compliance. I have all of them here, the business tax receipt, the state license, everything that's required for us to get it done, and so forth. However, we have not received a inspection date from the city of Fort Lauderdale to go and re-inspect the property. And I've been in contact with Mr. Jolly, who actually assists me in educating me in some of the process, as it's all new to me in dealing with that part. And so we're making every necessary way of making sure we're in compliance with the city of Fort Lauderdale.
All right. Well, sir, you were issued a citation, and in the citation, you were advised that if you didn't appeal the citation, the facts that were alleged by the city are taken as true. So the violation is deemed admitted. Under the law, since you did not take an appeal, I have no option but to impose the fine of $5,200. However, I want to advise you that there is a process that you can utilize to seek to reduce that amount.
So, Your Honor, we did went ahead and take off the listing off the market. We did remove it from the market.
I'm sorry?
We did take off the listings from the internet.
Yes, that's why it's complied.
It's complied, okay.
Yes, it's not running fines right now because it's taken down. That's been confirmed.
Okay, so I guess I'm just trying to understand. So we still are assessed the fines? Is that you're saying?
Well, that's possibly the type of thing we talk about when and if you move to reduce the lien, okay? So there's a lady over here who will talk to you and give you the paperwork if you desire to utilize that process.
And what's the lien amount, sir? What's the lien amount?
$5,200.
$5,200 is imposed.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 22. Our next case is on page, I'm sorry, we'll have to recall the case. Our next case is on page 33. Inspector Patrice Jolly. Case number CE 22030015. Case address 1524 Northeast 18th Avenue. Owner Jennifer Wetstein. This case was cited on 3/1/22 to comply by 3/1/22. One section complied at $400 per day. $400 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and no appeal was received for this citation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Senior Inspector Patrice Jolly for the city. Case number CE 22030015 for the property located at 1524 Northeast 18th Avenue. This property was cited on March 1st, 2022 with an immediate fine citation and no time to correct the following violation. 15-2783. There is a solid waste container placed curbside outside of the permitted timeframes. This is a repeat violation. Please see case CE 2107-0991. A reinspection was conducted on March 2nd, which revealed that the violation was complied. The city is requesting that the fines be imposed as read.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right to the microphone and state your name, please.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Andy Zamudio, and I'm the property manager and tenant.
All right. Okay, anything you'd like to add, sir?
No, we try to comply on time, but the cleaning crew left the container outside of the premises.
All right, well, a citation was issued and not appealed, and therefore the violation is deemed to be admitted. Under the law, I'm required to impose the fine of $400. If you wish to seek a reduction of that fine, there's a process you can utilize by speaking to one of the ladies over here.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I'm sorry?
Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have another one, right?
We have one more case.
Yes, also on page 33, case number CE 22030706. Case address 1524 Northeast 18th Avenue. Owner Jennifer Wetstein. This case was cited on 3/15/22 to comply by 3/15/22. One section complied at $400 per day. $1,200 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount. No appeal was received for the citation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Senior Inspector Patrice Jolly for the city of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 22030706 for the property located at 1524 Northeast 18th Avenue. This property was cited on March 1st, 2022. Excuse me, not March 1st. This property was cited on March 18th, 2022 with immediate fine. With a citation and immediate fine and no time to correct the following violation. 15-2783. There was a solid waste container placed curbside outside of permitted timeframes. This is a repeat violation. Please see cases CE 2107-0991 and CE 2203-0015. A hearing was conducted on, A hearing was conducted on March 18th, where it shows that the violations were complied. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on the March 16th, which revealed that the violation remained, and another inspection was done on the 18th of March on the non-trash pickup day, which showed that the trash carts was removed. The city requested that the fines be imposed as read.
All right, sir, you state your name for the record, please.
Andy Zamudio, property manager.
Okay.
We had the same issue with the cleaning crew. I had to get rid of that cleaning crew because they were leaving the containers out on the wrong times.
Okay. Given that this is a citation that was issued and not appealed, the violation is admitted. Under the law, I'm required to impose the full amount of $1,200. Just as with the other case, you have an opportunity, should you so desire, to file a petition to reduce that amount.
Yes, I will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We're recalling the case on page 24. Case number CE 22030042, case address 6841 Northwest 30th Avenue, 5A. The city is going to withdraw the citation with no fines and close the case.
Okay.
Our next case is on page 22, Senior Inspector Leonard Champagne. Case number CE 22030620, case address 5841 Bayview Drive, owner Martin Hanna and Marina Mativa. This case was cited on 3/23/22 to comply by 4/7/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $3,800 accrued. The city is requesting full amount, and no appeal was received for the citation.
Leonard Champagne for the city, Your Honor. CE 2203-0620, 5841 Bayview Drive. This property was first cited on 3/23/22 to comply by 4/7/2022. One section was on $200 a day for $3,800. It was complied on 4/27/2022. The city is requesting, as stated, of a full amount to be imposed.
All right, sir, if you'll speak into the microphone and state your name, please.
Morning, Your Honor. My name is Martin Hanna. We got the citation on March 23rd. March 24th, I have applied with all the documentation that was needed. I had already been working on it from before I got the citation. And unfortunately, due to a technical issue in the city's system, the city was not able to see the attachments that I uploaded in my applications. I kept following up, and I do have email trail. I was only made aware on April 6th, 12 days later, that they don't see all the attachments that I have in the application. So I reapplied and then did get the compliance. Also, in the compliance process, the inspector was not available for 10 days. I asked for the inspection to happen as soon as possible so that I can comply within the 15 days. But the inspector only works part-time and was not available for 10 days. I requested on April 12th the inspection, and he wasn't available until April 22nd. So the total days that were out of my hand were about 22, and I did comply. And the city is seeking about 18 days of non-compliance. So I would have been able to comply if it weren't for these hurdles. So I'm asking if it's at all possible.
Not at all possible, unfortunately. All right, as I've explained to others, and you were probably listening, this was a citation, and there was no appeal from the citation, which means under the ordinance that the violation is admitted, and I have no option to, other than to impose the full amount of $3,800. As you also probably heard me tell other people, should you desire to seek a reduction in that amount, you can speak to one of these ladies over here. They'll give you a package of information, and that is an option that is up to you if you want to pursue that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 19, Inspector Bernstein Sambert, case number CE 22030205, case address 1517 Northeast 5th Terrace, owner Blue Moon Residence LLC. This case was cited on 3/5/22 to comply by 3/6/22. Three sections complied at $200 per day, $1,400 accrued. This is a citation appeal. If the city is to prevail in this citation appeal, the city is requesting the full amount of $1,400 be imposed.
Bernstein Sambert, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 2203-0205, property address 1517 Northwest 5th Terrace. This property was inspected and issued a citation by Inspector Shayira on March 5th, 2022, given 24 hours to comply or a fine of $200 per day. 2427B, waste container left roadside overnight after collection, complied. 2429A, trash cart overflowing with trash not maintained, complied. 2427F, trash carts on property have uncovered lids, complied. Trash pickup for the area is Monday and Thursday. Property was cited on Saturday, March 5th, given 24 hours to comply. A re-inspection was conducted on Tuesday, March 8th, in which the property was still in violations. Another re-inspection was conducted on my next available workday, March 14, in which the property was in compliance. Property owner did appeal the citation. I would like to enter the photos as evidence that shows violation as depicted. City is requesting full amount.
All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Valentina Georgescu in behalf of Blue Moon residents.
Okay, if you keep your voice up a little bit, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have two situations here. The paper was put on the building. One of the tenants was in eviction and they pick up, so I didn't see it. So I saw when the registrate agent called me and they sent me by email. So I go there, I hire a company, the name is MBK Solution, Cleaning Solution. He wants to come here to talk in behalf of the job. And they pick up, but there are two tenants in that moment, they are in eviction, and they brought even a card from another house probably, because we have only 3 cards there, and I saw in the picture there are 4, correct? So probably they brought and put garbage there. So after we clean, again they threw away things from their house. So we cannot be there every night. So even if I clean today, they brought things there, so I have a violation. Now the building is clean and nice, but that one was the situation in that time. So I'm asking to reduce the fines because we already paid the company to clean and we do our job. The problem is with the conflict with the tenants, of course.
Okay. All right, ma'am. I realize that you have an issue with the tenant, but you remain ultimately responsible.
I know.
I'm going to grant the city's request and impose the amount of $1,400.
But I do appeal. We appeal.
And if you would like to seek a reduction.
We make the appeal.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that you did appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm
Can you reduce,
impose
please?
$1,400 for all 3 violations. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Information. Our next case is on page 12. Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 22010399. Case address 180 Penway, owner 800 LLC. Personal service was given to this property on April 18, 2022, and posted at City Hall on April 26, 2022. You can go ahead, Pat. It's the tenants. They're not speaking, but the property owner did not show up.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance, presenting case CE 22010399 for property located at 180 Penn Way. This property was first inspected on January 14th, 2022, and given time to correct for the following violations. 47-39.8.1.B7A1, there is a commercial trailer parked in the driveway of this residential property. 9-304B, there is a small trailer parked on the lawn on the side of the house. 47-39.8.1.B6B, there is illegal land use occurring at this property, which consists of outdoor storage of goods and material, including but not limited to plywood and building materials in the front, side, and rear yards, including the driveway. This property has been inspected for the same violation on March 2nd, 2021, October 7th, 2021, and November 3rd, 2021. The city is requesting compliance within 14 days or a fine of $100 per violation per day thereafter.
No appearance by the owner? Okay. All right. I find that each violation does exist. 14 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anyone want to take a recess?
Sure thing. We stand in recess. Resume this morning's special magistrate hearing with the non-respondent cases. Our next case is on page 1, Senior Inspector Gail Williams, case number CE 22020401, case address 2590 Northwest 19th Street, owners Richard and Janice Yergin, property posted 41622, post at City Hall 42622.
Good morning, Your Honor. Senior Inspector Gil Williams for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 22020401, address 2590 Northwest 19th Street. This property was inspected by retired Senior Officer Wilson Quintero on February 10th, 2022, and cited for the following violation: 47-19.1.c. This undeveloped parcel, i.e. vacant lot, is being utilized for accessory uses without a principal structure in use, in that it is being used as a parking lot and storage area for commercial vehicles, trailers, and passenger vehicles and other items. An inspection report was posted on the property and a copy mailed to the owner listed in BCPA via first-class mail. Pre-hearing inspection was conducted on May 1st and found violation remains as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a daily fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, I'm sorry. How many days to comply?
28 days.
Okay, I find the violation does exist, 28 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Our next case is Senior Inspector Gail Williams, case number CE 22020978, case address 1801 Southwest 12th Street, owner Nurse Yitzchak of Highland Lakes, Inc., property posted 5222, posted at City Hall 42622.
Senior Inspector Gail Williams for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 22020978, address 1801 Southwest 12th Street. This property was inspected on February 27, 2022, and cited for the following violation: 18-1. There is graffiti on the exterior building wall, a chair and other miscellaneous items at this property that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property is or may reasonably become infested, inhabited by rodents, vermin, or wild animals, or may furnish a breeding place for mosquitoes, or threatens the endangers the public health, safety, and welfare, or may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of an adjacent properties. A public nuisance notice was posted on the property and a copy was mailed to the owner listed in BCPA first-class mail. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on May 1st, 2022, and found the violation remains as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 14 days to comply or a daily fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay. I find that the violation does exist, 14 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Our next case on page 1, Senior Inspector Dorian Coloan, case number CE 22030202, case address 1415 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard, owner Iqbal Panwani and Shamshah Panwani, property posted 41622, posted at City Hall 42622.
Good morning again, Senior Inspector Cologne for the City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 22030202, address 1415 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard. This property was first inspected on March 3rd, 2022, and the following violations were observed. 6-51, there's artificial light that is illuminating the incorporated beaches of Fort Lauderdale. There is outside and inside sources that can be seen from the beach. A copy of the inspection report was posted, and I mailed a copy to the owner on record per BCPA, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. A reinspection was conducted on March 17th, 2022, which showed that the violations remained, and I also conducted reinspections weekly as a follow-up. As of the last inspection conducted on May 5th, 2022, by Senior Inspector Williams, the violation remains as depicted in the photos and presented for the record. Also, I need to point out per section 6-53 that if the magistrate finds that the violation exists and is entered against the violator, that the agency shall notify the violator in writing that any external lighting sources may be removed by the city within 10 business days, or a fine could be assessed against the violator to begin being assessed within 10 business days thereafter. And it would continually be assessed until the conclusion of the nesting season, which would be October 31st, or until the violation is corrected. Any costs associated with the removal of any lighting shall be recovered by the person or persons causing the violation, and if not recovered, a lien shall be placed against the property and reimbursed to the city at the time of the sale of the property. However, the city is requesting 10 business days to comply, or a fine of $50 a day until the end of sea turtle season, or until the violation is in compliance.
Okay, I find the violation does exist, and the relief requested by the city is granted. 10 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter, with the other provisos attached.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 2, Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne, case number CE 211-00934, case address 505 Brickers Avenue, owner Union Holdings LLC, property posted 4/28/22, posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Senior Inspector Cloyan, City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 211-00934, address is 505 Breakers Avenue. This property was first inspected on October 28th, 2021 by Inspector Flores, and the following violations were observed. 9304B, there are vehicles, trailers, commercial equipment parked on the grass lawn area, and this is a repeat violation. The previous case number is CE-2001-0136. This case shall be presented to the magistrate as a repeat violation, whether or not it is complied prior to the hearing. 47-34.1.A.1 has been complied. 47-19.5.E.7, the chain link fence and or gates are in disrepair, and this is a recurring violation. The case number is CE 2102-0798. And this violation will be presented to the magistrate to obtain a finding of fact whether or not it is complied prior to the hearing. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 28th, 2022, and the violations are all in compliance. However, the city is asking for a finding of fact for 47-19.5.E.7, and the city is asking for a fine of $50 a day for the violation 9-304B as a repeat violation, which began at the time of initial observation, which was on November 4th, 2021, until the compliance date of April 7th, 2022, which was a total of 154 days of noncompliance, which totals the amount of $7,700.
Okay, as to 47-19.5.E.7, I make a finding of fact that the violation did exist. 9-304B, the relief requested by the city is granted, and a fine of $7,700 is imposed.
Thank you.
Our next case on page 2, Inspector Bernstein Sambert. Case number CE 21050045. Case address 1309 Northeast 2nd Avenue. Owner Ardana Elise. Property posted 4/19/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Bernstein Sambert, City of Fort Lauderdale, Community Enhancement, case number CE 21050045. Property address 1309 Northwest 2nd Ave. This property was inspected and cited by Inspector Del Grosso on May 4th, 2021 for the following violations. 2427B complied. 18-12A, overgrowth, trash, debris on property and swell remains. 9-306, exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural part, including walkway, tile, steps, are in disrepair. There are areas on the exterior door have stains. Remains. 9-304B, there is a vehicle, white truck, parked on the grass/lawn area. The driveway is stained and is not being maintained as required. Remain. 18-4C, there are derelict vehicles on the property consisting of a white Ford truck and a black Nissan SUV without a tag. This is a recurring violation of the case CE 1805-0217 and CE 201-00491. Due to noncompliance on April 19, 2022, the notice of hearing was posted on the property. Pre-hearing inspection revealed the violation stated is not in compliance. I would like to enter the photos as evidence that shows violations as depicted. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation.
I'm sorry, 28 days or,
$50 per day.
all right. I find that each violation does exist, 28 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Our next case is on page 3, Inspector Bernstein Sambert. Case number CE 211-10482. Case address 1101 Northwest 52nd Street. Owner Malcolm Black Trust, Malcolm Black Trustee. Property posted 4/19/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Bernstein Sambert, City of Lauderdale Community Enhancement. Case number CE 2111-0482. Property address 1101 Northwest 52nd Street. This property was inspected for our area project on November 16, 2021, and cited for the following violations. 47-21.11A. Landscape on the swell is not being maintained. There is dead or missing grass on the swell is complied. 9-306. Exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior wall and garage door that have stains and peeling paint. Remains. Due to noncompliance on April 19, 2022, the notice of hearing was posted on the property. Pre-hearing inspection revealed the following violation stated is not in compliance. I would like to enter the photos as evidence that shows violations as depicted. City is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day.
Okay, I find the violation does exist, 28 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Our next case is on page 4. Inspector Bernstein Sambert. Case number CE 22020538. Case address 1032 Northwest 6th Avenue. Owner Think Dizzle LLC. Property posted 4/19/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Bernstein Sambert, City of Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 2202-0538, property address 1032 Northwest 6th Ave. This property was inspected on February 24th, 2022 for the following violations. 9-313A complied. 18-4C complied. 47-34.4.B.1 complied. 47-34.1.8.1. There is outdoor storage on this property, including but not limited to tires, buckets, shopping carts, and other miscellaneous items. Remains. 18-12A, overgrowth, trash, debris on this property and its swell. Remain. 9-304B, driveway is stained. There is holes and cracks, including the swell driveway. The wheel stop are also not being maintained. Remains. 9-280H1, the fence at this property is in disrepair. The fence is broken, has missing slats, and is not being maintained as required. Remains. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead missing ground cover. Remains. 2427B, there are waste containers left out overnight after collection day and not pulled back to an approved location. Remains. Due to noncompliance, April 19, 2022, notice of hearing was posted on the property. Pre-hearing inspection revealed the violation stated is not in compliance. I would like to enter the photos as evidence that shows violation as depicted. City is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $100 per day per violation.
All right, I find the violations do exist, 28 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Our next case is on page 6, Inspector Gustavo Caracas. Case number CE 22030031, case address 901 Northwest 3rd Avenue. Owner Brightline Holdings 401K, PSP. Property posted 4/20/22, posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Compliance case number CE 22030031 for the property located at 901 Northwest 3rd Avenue. Inspection of the property was performed on March 1st of this year and cited for the following violations. 47-19.1.c. There's a storage shipping container being stored on the vacant lot. This is prohibited accessory use as there's no principal structure on the lot. 18-12A. There's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris in and around the vacant lot property consisting of, but not limited to, household trash, cans, furniture, and construction debris. The overgrowth extends, but is not limited to the swell right-of-way. The shrubbery surrounding the vacant lot is overgrown and extends to the right-of-way. Courtesy notice was issued and mailed to the property owner as listed on BCPA on March 1st of 2022, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Until recently, sir, the owner has reached out to me, and special magistrate request form sent on March 14th of 2022. Pre-hearing inspection was done on April 20th, and the pictures presented here were taken to confirm the violations have not been brought into compliance. The city is requesting the following: 35 days to come into compliance or a daily fine of $50 for each of the violations that exist. Photo submitted into record for evidence, Your Honor.
I find that each violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter on each.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case on page 6, Inspector Gustavo Caracas, case number CE 22030347, case address 407 North Andrews Avenue. Owner Broward Station Andrews LLC. Personal service was given to this property on April 20th, 2022, and posted at City Hall on April 26th, 2022.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance CE 22030347 for the property located at 407 North Andrews Avenue. Inspection of the property was performed on March 9th of 2022 and cited for the following violation: 18-1 nuisance. There is graffiti at this property that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property may reasonably become or may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of adjacent properties. Your Honor, this is a recurring violation. This case will be presented in front of you as a recurring violation for case prior to CE 211200075, whether or not it comes into compliance. Courtesy notice was actually issued to the tenant of the building and sent via BCPA, as mailed BCPA on March 9th of 2022, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Contact has been made with the tenant and with the property owner. Special magistrate request form sent on March 22nd and scheduled for today's special master. A pre-hearing inspection was done on April 20th and yesterday. I'm happy to say, sir, that there is compliance on this case. But again, we want to put this case as a recurring violation.
All right, is it in compliance now?
Yes, sir, it is in compliance. But we want to put this in
the
record
violation.
that it's a recurring violation. So
I make that finding of fact.
thank you, Your Honor.
On page 6, case number CE 22030363 is complied. Our next case on page 7, Inspector Gustavo Caracas, case number CE 22030333, case address 317 North Federal Highway, owner 616 Southeast 4th Avenue LLC, property posted 4/20/22, posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Inspector, presenting case number CE 22030333 for the property located at 317 North Federal Highway. Inspection of the property was performed on March 7th and cited for the following violation: 18-12A, there's trash, rubbish, and debris on the property and on its swell, including but not limited to the dumpster enclosure. 9-306, there's graffiti has been painted on the exterior wall of the trash container enclosure of this occupied commercial property. Courtesy notice was mailed to the property owner as listed on BCPA via first-class mail on March 7, 2022, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Contact has not been made with anyone regarding the property. Special magistrate request form was sent on March 22nd of this year and scheduled for today's special master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on April 20th, and pictures presented here were taken to confirm the following violations have not been brought into compliance. The city is requesting the following: 10 days to come into compliance or a daily fine of $100 for each of the violations that exist, and the photos are submitted into record for evidence.
All right, I find the violations do exist. 10 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Our next case on page 7, Inspector Darren Emmons. Case number CE 22010419. Case address 2812 Southwest 13th Court. Owner Zaida Cabrejos. Property posted 4/19/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Emmons, City of Fort Lauderdale. For the presenting for the case and address is read. This property was inspected on 01/18/22 by a previous inspector, and the following violations were observed: 9-304B, which has been complied; 9-305B, which is not in compliance. The landscape of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. This appears to be caused by the vehicles parked on it, or that have been parking on it. 24-27B has complied. This property was posted on 4/19/22. A pre-hearing inspection was done by myself on 5/2/22, and the violation remains. The inspector has been in contact with the homeowner who's awaiting on a permit from the city to increase their driveway. The city is requesting 63 days to comply or a fine of $25 per day thereafter per violation be imposed. I would like to submit my case, file, and photos to the court.
All right, I find the violation does exist. 63 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 9. Inspector Darren Emmons. Case number CE 22020641. Case address 2931 Southwest 13th Court. Owner Gwendolyn Whitfield. Property posted 4/19/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Again, Inspector Emmons for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting for the case and property is read. This property was inspected on February the 17th, 22, and the following violation was observed. 18-4C, there is a derelict blue Ford Escape with no plate and a flat tire parked in the front of this property. 9-305B has been complied. This property was posted on 4/19/22. A pre-hearing inspection was done by myself on 5/1/22, and the violation remains. Inspector has been in contact with the property owner in reference to this violation. The city is requesting 21 days to comply or a fine of $25 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist. 21 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 10. Inspector Darren Emmons, case number CE 22020756. Case address 1462 Southwest 19th Avenue. Owner Eileen Newberry Whitaker, ENW Family Trust. Property posted 4/18/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Inspector Emmons for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting for the case and property is read. This property was inspected on February the 20th, 22 by a previous inspector, and the following violation was observed. 18-4C is complied. 9-304B, the gravel driveway has grass growing up through it. This property is posted on 4/18/22. A pre-hearing inspection was done by myself on May 1st, and the violation remains. The city is requesting 21 days to comply or a fine of $25 per day per violation thereafter.
I'm sorry, how many days?
21.
Okay. I find the violation does exist. 21 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Our next case on page 10, Inspector Darren Emmons, case number CE 22020778. Case address 1000 Southwest 18th Court. Owner Wisla Soha. Property posted 4/19/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Again, Inspector Emmons, City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting for the case, and the property is read. This property is inspected on February the 19th, and the following violation was observed. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including the fascia and soffits, are in disrepair. The fascia has black stains and the soffits are missing wood. This property is posted on 4/19/22. Pre-hearing inspection was done by myself on May 2nd. The violation remains. The city is requesting 21 days to comply for a fine of $25 per day thereafter per violation.
Right, I find the violation does exist, 21 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Our next case is on page 11. Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 21070195. Case address 168 Vermont Avenue. Owner Matthew Sterling. Property posted 4/18/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance, presenting case CE 21070195 for property located at 168 Vermont Avenue. This property was first inspected on July 7th, 2021, and given time to correct for the following violations. 9-280B, there are building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained, including but not limited to the garage door. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint, including the front door, garage door, front wall, and fascia. 18-4C complied, 9-304B complied. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. The city is requesting compliance within 28 days or a fine of $25 per violation per day thereafter.
I find the violations do exist, 28 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter on each.
Yes, sir.
Our next case is on page 15. Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 22020620. Case address 3201 Jackson Boulevard. Owner Tricon SFR 22-2 Borough LLC. Personal service was given to this property on April 18, 2022. Posted at City Hall on 4/26/2022.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case CE 22020620 for property located at 3201 Jackson Boulevard. This property was first inspected on February 16th, 2022, and given time to correct for the following violations. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-304B, there are vehicles, trailers parked on the grass lawn area. 47-39.A.1.B 7A 1 has been complied. The city is requesting compliance within 28 days or a fine of $25 per violation per day thereafter.
I find the violations do exist, 28 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Thank you, sir.
Our next case on page 15, case number CE 22020788. Case address 3230 Jackson Boulevard. Owners Melvin Rivas, Esther Rivas, and Ilias Rivas. Property posted 4/20/22. Posted at City Hall on 4/26/22.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case CE 22020788 for property located at 3230 Jackson Boulevard. The property was first inspected on February 22nd, 2022, and given time to correct for the following violations. 18-1, there is outdoor storage in the carport of items including, but not limited to, appliances, plastic bags, and buckets at this property that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property is or may be reasonably become infested or inhabited by rodents, vermin, or wild animals, or may furnish a breeding place for mosquitoes, or threatens or endangers the public health, safety, or welfare, or may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of adjacent properties. The city is requesting compliance within 28 days or a fine of $25 per violation thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 28 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Thank you, sir.
On page 6, case number CE 22020998 has been withdrawn. Our next case is on page 17. Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 22021000. Case address 3419 Southwest 12th Court. Owner Wenceslo Cintron. Property posted 4/18/22. Posted at City Hall 4/26/22.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case CE 22021000 for property located at 3419 Southwest 12th Court. This property was first inspected on February 28, 2022, and given time to correct for the following violations. 9-304B is complied, 9-278E is complied. 9-308B, there is debris, trash, or another element which is not permanent on the roof. There is blue plastic sheeting. 18-4C, there are derelict vehicles on the property. One is inoperable and one does not have a license plate. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. The city is requesting compliance within 28 days or a fine of $25 per violation per day thereafter.
I find the violations do exist, 28 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Thank you, sir.
And now we'll call our cases with hearing to impose fines, beginning with page 20. Case number CE 22030091, case address 2519 Barcelona Drive, owner Darren Bowden and Miriam Castellito in care of Nearstar LTD. This case was cited on 32422 to comply by 32422. One section complied at $400. $400 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and no appeal was received for this.
The city's request is granted.
Case number CE 22030286, case address 814 Northeast 14th Court, owner Fernanda Day. This case was cited on 3922 to comply by 32422. One section complied at $200 per day. $6,600 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and no appeal was received for the citation.
City's request is granted.
On page 21, case number CE 22030527, case address 3219 Northeast 59th Court, owner Belmonte Family Trust, Michael Jean Belmonte, trustee. This case was cited on 31622 to comply by 4122. One section complied as of May 10th, 2022. $7,800 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed and no appeal was received for the citation.
The city's request is granted.
On page 22, case number CE 22030635, case address 1820 Northeast 54th Street, owner Deborah Ann Smith Living Trust. This case was cited on 32622 to comply by 41022. One section complied at $200 per day. $3,800 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and no appeal was received for this citation.
The city's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 24. Case number CE 22020590. Case address 1414 Northeast 26th Avenue. Owners Matthew and Maria Burrell. This case was cited on 21622 to comply by 21722. One section complied at $150 per day. $600 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and no appeal was received for the citation.
The city's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 25. Case number CE 22030131. Case address 6620 Northwest 31st Way. Owner Castella de Fels LLC. This case was cited on 3322 to comply by 31822. One section not complied at $250 per day. $13,250 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue and no appeal was received for the citation.
Granted.
Case number CE 211-10390, case address 1600 Southwest 9th Street. Owner Thomas Grant Murray. This case was first heard on 3822 to comply by 31822 and 32922. Three sections not complied at $50 per day. $6,850 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 26. Case number CE 211-10605. Case address 570 Southwest 31st Avenue. Owner FYR SFR Borough LLC in care of Havenbrook Homes. This case was first heard on 3822 to comply by 32222. One section complied at $50 per day. $2,350 accrued. The city is requesting full amount.
City's request is granted.
On page 27, case number CE 211-20347, case address 1143 Wyoming Avenue, owner Hyacinth Best Estate. This case was first heard on 3/8/22 to comply by 3/22/22. Two sections complied at $50 per day. $2,600 accrued. The city is requesting full amount.
Says city request, full amount, hard cost,
No, sir, the city is requesting the full amount of $2,600.
all right, city's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 30. For case number CE 2201-0451, case address 2341 Northwest 15th Street, owner Christopher D. Rowland. The city is requesting to vacate the order imposing fines of March 24, 2022, and close the case.
The city's request is granted.
On page 30, case number CE 22020339, case address 708 North Flagler Drive, owner Harbor FTL LLC, in care of O'Reilly Auto. This case was cited on 2/8/22 to comply by 2/15/22. One section complied at $250 per day. $1,500 accrued. The city is requesting full amount, and no appeal was received for the citation.
The city's request is granted.
Case number CE 22020343, case address 720 North Flagler Drive, owner England's Finest LLC. This case was cited on 2/8/22 to comply by 2/15/22. One section complied at $250 per day. $1,500 accrued. The city is requesting full amount, and no appeal was received for the citation.
The city's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 31. Case number CE 22020345. Case address 727 Northeast 2nd Avenue. Owner AP Flagler Uptown LLC. This case was cited on 2/8/22 to comply by 2/15/22. One section complied at $250 per day. $2,000 accrued. The city is requesting full amount, and no appeal was received for this citation.
City's request is granted.
Case number CE 22010510, case address 1523 Southeast 12th Street, owner Southeast 14th Court. This case was first heard on 3/24/22 to comply by 4/3/22. Two sections complied at $100 per day. $1,800 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
City's request is granted.
On page 32, case number CE 20110140, case address 1229 Miami Road, owner Pat 2 Investments LLC, in care of Upside Management LLC. This case was first heard on 4/29/21 to comply by 6/24/21. There are 3 suspensions notated on the agenda. 2 sections not complied at $50 per day, $14,200 accrued. 2 sections complied at $50 per day, $3,100 accrued. A total of $17,300 accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
City's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 33, case number CE 22030778 is being rescheduled. Our next case on page 34, case number CE 22030957, case address 415 Northeast 15th Street, owner Sebastian Garcia Dastigue. This case was cited on 3/24/22 to comply by 4/7/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $6,200 accrued. The city is requesting full amount, and no appeal was received for the citation.
City's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 35. Case number CE 22030686. Case address 2531 Key Largo Lane, owner J&J Acquisition Homes LLC. This case was cited on 3/22/22 to comply by 4/5/22. One section not complied at $200 per day. $7,000 is accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue, and no appeal was received for the citation.
City's request is granted.
Our next case, case number CE 22030968, case address 1621 North Victoria Park Road, owners Aaron and Natalie Abramov, property posted 32322, to comply by 32422, one section complied at $200, $200 accrued, the city is requesting full amount and no appeal was received for the citation.
City's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 36. Case number CE 21070791. Case address 2648 Southwest 7th Street. Owner Elizabeth Williams. This case was first heard on 9/14/21 to comply by 12/28/21. Suspended 2/8/22 to 3/15/22. Three sections not complied at $50 per day. $14,700 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
The city is requesting to enter pages 40 and 41 into today's hearing as an exhibit. It is the city's list of complied, closed, withdrawn, and rescheduled cases.
The city's request is granted.
This concludes the special magistrate hearing for May 10th, 2022.